Phillip Rivers returned from a 5-year hibernation to start for the Colts.
Did Phillip Rivers send any type of signs that he was available?
And that's Cam Newton, who crawled through a yard sale to get there. And I guess he wants to play for the Colts?
He's 44 years old, bro.
Welcome to Shut Up Football. I'm Jeff Stoltzfus. That's Kevin. Last week, the Bengals and the Raiders were blanked. Patrick Mahomes was eliminated from playoff contention and from health. And the NFC South is officially a festering pile of monkey poop. It was week 15 in the NFL. Let's get it. It was a night of Kirks. Kirk Cousins knocked the dust off his arm and threw for 373 yards. He's at his best when there's nothing on the line. Kyle Pitts had a career night with 11 receptions and 166 yards. And if you know one thing about Kyle Pitts, you are Kirk Herbstreit.
Such a great target at 6'6". Keep in mind, he is 6'6". At 6'6", 250. But he knew that he had Pitts at 6'6", especially down in this area at 6'6".
Maybe don't say his height for a while. See how that feels. Pitts had 3 touchdowns, but his third was all about that ass.
It's just that tight.
Which touched first, his butt cheek or his elbow?
Assholes and elbows.
What is everything they put in a hot dog? Sorry, I thought we were playing Jeopardy.
We haven't talked about these uniforms.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's get into it. The Bucks were rocking more orange than a Fanta hunting party. They look like the Dutch. I love anything that requires me to rub sunscreen in my eyes and makes a good case for radio. The Bucks forced a fumble from Darnell Mooney, and just like your mom's sex tape, it was 1 against 7. Somehow, center Ryan Newsel emerged with it. Falcons ball, but how? Were the defenders all wearing mittens or blinded by science? And why did that play not get more coverage? We spent more time learning about Jardiance than watching an actual magic show. The Falcons committed 19 penalties that we know of, and the Bucks surrendered a 2-score lead to a dog with fleas. Having your playoff run impeded by the Falcons is the pits.
Pitts at 6'6".
Justin Herbert was making throws that wowed the announcers.
That could be the best play of the day by Herbert.
That's Mahomes-like.
It would have been more impressive if it were a completed pass. Mahomes was injured late, and Kansas City joined together in prayer, which were then immediately canceled out by the prayers of the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders fans, as they carry more weight with God. I mean, not the Raiders fans, but everyone else. For the first time in 11 seasons, the Chiefs will miss the playoffs. The field at Arrowhead is heated by a series of pipes, which I feel like is the real story here. We take you now to a live look of the Chiefs during the playoffs. Joe Burrow had 0 touchdowns in this. He threw 2 interceptions. Kyle Van Noy got 1 of them, and then handed it to Alohi Gilman to get the score. I get it. I'm lazy too. They said Derrick Henry was starting to feel himself, which seems inappropriate, but whatever saves the season. Just have the good grace to do it in the medical tent. They don't literally use that for just injuries, right? Henry had 100 yards on not many carries. Officials were getting tossed like your grandmother's salad. Zach Taylor wore a shirt that said "Inspire Change," which at 4-10, he might just be doing. Drake May ran amok in the first half with 2 rushing touchdowns and ran his narrow buttocks off to block for Travion Henderson on one of his long-distance scores. The Patriots were up by 3 scores at one point, but then Josh Allen puked his guts out all over the place. Maybe he saw sinners. He had to release the demons held captive in last night's Chipotle. At least it went out the front door. We can't have him shitting in a trash bin on CBS again. James Cook had 3 scores. On his second, he teased the goal line with the tip. Show me how lines work. It was a rough outing for rookie Shedeur Sanders, who was picked off 3 times. Worse yet, the Bears keep all their interceptions in a cage and then pump them full of GMOs. Just like marriage, it's a prison for your balls. Ben Johnson revealed he's part windmill on his mother's side. There was mass confusion after someone swapped out Shedeur Sanders' play-calling wristband with a recipe for Old World spaghetti sauce. Myles Garrett got another 2 sacks.
They have officially scored that a half sack. Boo.
1.5 sacks. Like I said, he's now only 1 sack away from tying the record. Josh Blackwell was called for delay of game after lying sexy on the goal line for 20 minutes. The candle wax was everywhere. Flavor Flav was there.
Yeah, boy!
Brady Cook got his first pro touchdown, and it came with a side of 3 interceptions. I hope Ma and Pa Cook kept the car running. Trevor Lawrence scored 6 touchdowns. He could have had more, but the Jags pulled him early. Save some of that for a team that doesn't inspire daddy to day drink and make mommy cry. I'll be honest, I kinda lost the thread on this one after the announcers dropped acid on live TV. The Texans' ground game came via rookie Jawar Jordan. He had 101 yards. Trey McBride was setting records, and I have no idea what they are. I didn't feel like reading. I assume it was something like nicest curtsy or freshest pits. Something classy that involves a monogrammed bread box. Jonathan Gannon has a tremendous poker face. Even when he's down 3 scores, the man looks completely dead inside. Stay positive, buddy. Jalen Hurts scored 3 touchdowns, making the people who debated benching him look like the rage-baiting ass clowns they are. Kenny Pickett got the start. He's been traded more than syphilis, which would have had a better chance of breaking out. His receivers did a better job picking up yardage by starting fights with the defense. The offense didn't top 100 yards all day. Former President Biden was there. I think he knew it. I'm getting a little tired of these tricks to make Pete Carroll seem young. He gave a rousing speech at halftime to a drinking fountain. The Raiders were completely blanked in a game that probably meant more to the birds anyway. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt got a surprising amount of action in this. He ran in a straight line like nobody's business. Jackson Dart was running all his signature plays, like visiting the medical tent. Jameis Winston came in for a play, but they lured him back to the sideline with the promise of freshly baked cookies, only for Dart to sneak back into the game. Younghoe Koo missed 2 kicks in this. On the plus side, he didn't miss the ball this time. Phillip Rivers was back. It was literally Old Man River.
Is the new one out?
He's a 44-year-old grandfather, which is some trailer parky shit. But to be fair, the more time he spends here, the less time he has to make more kids. This pokey little puppy kept the game alive. His high school team, the Tuscaloosa Snatch Badgers, was watching from the state's Capitol building, which also serves as a Waffle House. Unfortunately, the Seahawks denied this movie's happy ending. They won without a single offensive touchdown. Jason Myers made 6 stupid field goals. Why does he need water after 1 kick? Rivers did just enough, which was not enough. Bo Nix threw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. He scraped his knuckles reaching to the bottom of the roster with Michael Bandy and Lil Jordan Humphrey. He had to, after Cortland Sutton was robbed of a touchdown. Some whistle-happy ref blew this up.
But they cannot change this now. He's too far away from the goal line.
Too far from the goal line? What? What? It was time for the Packers to call their best play. Run into your own guy and fall down. Flawless. The injury monster took a bite out of Green Bay. Micah Parsons. Christian Watson. Sometimes it's almost fun listening to Tony Romo work things out in real time.
There's not a more important person on this offense to me, Jim. Jordan Love, obviously, the quarterback's the most important.
The Packers were flagged for having 12 men on the field, and see if you can find him. In the 4th quarter, Satan called collect for our souls. Maybe don't make eye contact. Aiden Hutchinson snagged a pass from Jared Goff and took it 58 yards until he was cheetah tackled by Colby Parkinson, who was a huge part of this game. Parkinson caught a bomb from Stafford and they ruled it a touchdown. But upon further review, fuck it, touchdown. Even the blind could see he was down at the 1.
I think it's clearly short.
Yeah, definitely short.
Parkinson knew he got away with 1, and later, bolstered by a newfound confidence, he decided to try crime. Stafford threw for 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. Is he the MVP? If not, he's at least MVP adjacent. RG3 was on the call, looking one Cavassier shy of being the ladies' man.
And he loves getting poked, you know what I mean?
The theme of the day was Panthers penalties. They had 11, and the last one put the Saints in range to win the game. Roughing the passer on a quarterback draw. Fuck you, he was coming right at me. If a deer runs into my car, that's on him or her. I am not gender biased when it comes to roadkill. It all ends up on my dinner table. Irish leg jockey Charlie Smith split the uprights for the win. How deflating for the Panthers. I don't think Bryce Young could get any lower. Oh, I guess he can. Brock Purdy was firing shots. Fans called him Glock Purdy, which might be too soon for Ricky Pearsall. Purdy threw 3 touchdowns and gave his boys the old jello hips. The Niners scored on their first 5 possessions. The Titans found points with big man Gunnar Helm and even bigger man Jeffrey Simmons. How did he get that wide open on a route that netted 1 yard? That's more beef than a trip to Arby's. But it wasn't enough for the Titans, who dropped another one and remain in NFL purgatory. McCarthy's first pass was batted twice, once by the defense and once by him. It ended up in Quinion Williams' belly, which is not to say that he ate it, but he could have, I guess. I didn't see what he did with it after. Here comes Dak Prescott. He's got a sassy little secret, and he's not telling. Prescott scored 0 touchdowns. He was outdueled by a head of broccoli with a pen name. JJ McCarthy scored 3 touchdowns. He threw 2 to Jalen Naylor, displaying the body mechanics of a car crash victim, and greeted one in himself. Best offense in the league, they said. Playoff team, they said. Trick plays and 400 yards of offense weren't enough to save the Cowboys' season. They came up short to a Vikings team playing for nothing. I guess them boys can get comfy on them couches again. They said Tua can't win in the cold. And they were right. Good night. It was Monday night and Dolphin was on the menu. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 touchdowns.
Rodgers sneaks it in. DK Metcalf forces it in.
So I guess nobody is saying please. The Steelers were tush and pushes, and Rodgers couldn't even find the common courtesy to take his hands out of his pockets. Look at him, calm as a urinal cake, giving less supervision than an affordable daycare. I bet if they fumbled, he wouldn't even jump on it. Just look at the camera like he was in the office. Someone made a Christmas poster of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, which just makes sense. A buck is a type of deer, and Troy Aikman loves to break into people's houses and eat their cookies. A steamed ham was there. I'll be honest, I thought somebody was doing a handstand. Who wouldn't follow Mike McDaniel to war when every speech sounds less like Braveheart and more like the first time reading?
Probably going to take every possession of execution.
In the fourth quarter, Troy Aikman was befuddled by the Dolphins' clock management, which is usually a job for doorknobs and buttons.
I'm flabbergasted by what we've witnessed here in this fourth quarter with the Dolphins, and now they want to call timeouts, and it just is about as ridiculous a fourth quarter as I've seen in a long time.
I'm gonna miss this funny little guy. He's like the NFL's elf on a shelf, except you always know where to find him. Home during the playoffs.
And now the salt pretzel of the week. Yummy. This week, the pretzel goes to tight end Colby Parkinson of the Los Angeles Rams. He's been a growing part of the Rams offense. Last week, he scored 2 touchdowns. Well, 1. The other one was bullshit, but it counted. And he also chased down Aiden Hutchinson after he intercepted Matthew Stafford. Parkinson was a 4th-round draft pick by the Seahawks back in 2020. This is kind of an unexpected breakout. Tyler Higbee was the guy, and rookie Terrence Ferguson is set up to be the next guy. But right now, it's 6'7" Colby Parkinson. In the past 6 weeks, he's had 6 touchdowns and averaged 4.5 targets a game, which ain't bad when you're contending with the likes of Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Kudos to Colby Parkinson. Stay salty, my friend. Thanks for watching Shut Up Football. Please say hi to your mom for me, and we'll catch you next week. Peace!
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
I am not gender biased when it comes to roadkill.